Mine,
I thought you said that was yours.
I had an electronic.
having to do like a coach meeting or something.
I mean, truck-based.
I think that would be
offices have-
attended, yeah. All right.
Nobody has you.
So Rockman was moved from police.
Of course, Mike just got blankly on it. Yeah. You know, one of them, what do they call them, snuggies?
Yeah, I do, I'm going to one of their notes too.
Short line, and when somebody, you know.
Yeah, I'm not going to find it now. That's, yeah. And then,
I didn't know till I bought that Bible.
Okay, we ready to roll?
I like stuff freezing. When I'm outside.
Okay, call to order the November 13th, 2018 Latrobe City Council meeting. Please stand for the pledge to the flag.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please. Mrs. Weller. Mr. Kelly.
Present.
Mr. Murphy. Mr. Bartels.
Here.
Mr. Baldini.
Here.
Mr. Forrest.
Here.
Mayor Wolford. Here. At this time, I'd ask for approval of the minutes from the October 9th, 2008. Oh, I'm sorry, I skipped my moment of silence. I'm sorry, which I really need right now. So at this time, I would ask for a moment of silence to quietly relax, to ask for guidance, or to give thanks. Thank you. Okay, may I have approval of the minutes from the October 9th, 2018 Latrobe City Council meeting?
I move the minutes of the October 9th, 2018 meeting be approved and accepted and be permitted to remain on the secretary's desk where they will be available for reading and inspection to everyone.
Thank you, Mr. Baldini. May I have a second, please?
I'll second.
Thank you, Mr. Bartels. Questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion approved unanimously. Christine must have the second. Because everybody's looking around. May I have a motion to approve the fiscal department reports and paid bills for the month of October 2018?
So moved.
Thank you. Who did that? Mr. Kelly? Thank you, Mr. Kelly. May I have a second?
I'll second that, Madam Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. Forish. Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. At this time, we ask, we have our citizens' request portion of the meeting with items that relate to the agenda. So if you have anything that you would like to discuss related to the agenda, please come to the microphone, state your name and address, and please limit your comments to 3 to 5 minutes. If there's other things you want to talk about later, we can do that towards the end of the meeting.
Madam Mayor,
Yes, sir.
I don't have anything that's on the agenda, but I do have a request.
Okay,
All right, microphone.
sure.
For those of you that don't know me, my name is David Bolin. I live at 116 Avenue D over in 5th Ward. Reason why I'm here tonight is I live in the middle of the street. At the intersection of Watkins Avenue and Avenue D, there is a street light. At the intersection of Avenue D and Levine Street, there is a street light. Everything in the middle, it's pretty dark. It's now a safety issue. On my street, I got a lot of elderly people, got a lot of children. Now with wintertime coming, it is obviously, with the time change, it is getting dark a lot earlier. I'm here to ask to see if there could be a street light put in the middle there somehow, some way.
I guess we can take a look at it. Do you guys have any?
We can get a hold of West Penn Power. We had, usually West Penn Power owns and operates the streetlights.
Right.
So we can put a request in, talk to Terry from West Penn Power. You said at the intersection of Watkins and Avenue D is requested?
No, actually in the middle of Avenue D between Levine and Watkins.
Mid-block.
Yep, in the middle.
Between Levine and Watkins. So you're saying there's a street light at each corner, but nothing in the middle,
Correct.
which is probably the case everywhere. So, you know, we're gonna have to look at that. I mean,
All you can do is ask.
that's right. Let's take a look at it and we'll see what
Okay?
we can come up with.
On
Yes.
that, not all streets have them just at the two corners. I mean, I live in the middle of Weldon Street, there's one right in front of my house. There's not a few streets that have that.
I'm sure there are, yeah. We'll have to look at it.
Okay. That's all I need. I thank you everyone for their time.
Welcome. Welcome to Latrobe.
Thank you. Been here for about
Former
2
Mayor
years.
Bullen.
Yeah, no. It was quite a journey for a while.
Anyone else? Okay, committee reports, Finance Committee. We all have a copy of the budget that we need to review and discuss. Kelly, you and I should probably sit down and walk through it together sometime in the next couple of weeks.
That's what I'm thinking.
Okay, public safety and fire. Anything, guys?
Nothing this time, Madam Mayor, maybe just put an ad in the paper, reminding people with winter season coming up about cleaning their sidewalks and stuff for public safety and that. That'd be about it, I reckon, on that.
Okay.
And the leaf cleanup thing's going well, it seems to be.
Okay. Public Works? Anything?
Nothing to report at this time, Madam Mayor.
Personnel Committee, Chief, where are you at in your process of hiring a police officer?
The application process ends November 30th. December 8th will be the physical fitness exam here. On the 15th will be the written exam.
Okay. Thank you. Anything else on personnel? Events Committee, Christine's not here, and the showcase has been postponed to December. Our candidate was ill, so we moved that presentation until our December meeting, right? Board and Authority reports. Anything from LMA?
Nothing.
Anything from the library, Park and Rec?
The library meets tomorrow, so I'll have more details later on, but this past weekend we had the fall fundraiser. It was mini golf inside, and we were there on Friday night, and it was very well attended. So
Oh, that's good to
we're
hear.
very optimistic about it. So.
That's good. I couldn't make it. I was tied up with another commitment, but, and how about, what did you hear about Saturday? Anything with the kids event? Yeah. I had talked to some people that were going, but,
Turkey trot, Thanksgiving morning, 9:30. Go out and run 3 miles so you can eat like a pig.
okay, department reports. Mike?
Just one thing is, I'm not going to have any education regarding the MS4 tonight. I'm going to wait until and see if the partnership agreement gets approved tonight, and maybe work in cooperation with the Conservation District to get them here. It's going to be too long of a period to have during a council session, so I'm thinking about setting up a separate meeting, cooperation with the Westmoreland Conservation District, myself, do some training and education regarding ways to reduce stormwater runoff. So in the meantime, the city does have information available, and has information in her office as well as I do regarding ways residents can reduce some of the stormwater issues, infiltration, and things to do to help the flood.
Thank you.
I have a question.
Sure.
How are we on salt? We're good? We're ready to go?
Yeah, sold everything for the winter time. We're ready to go. We're topped off, so we're ready. All the trucks, good working condition, no issues. So we're just waiting for the first snowfall.
Anything else, Mike? Chief Sleesman? Oh, wait, hold on, excuse me.
Mike, I don't know if you've seen it come across one of the internet channels, but the government came out with the recent floodings and everything. They've approved small business loans for businesses got damaged off. Maybe you want to reach out to Steve's Auto. Maybe you can point him in that direction to help him for what he lost. I don't know if he's seen it or not.
Yeah, I think we looked
I
at
got
that.
a letter in the mail from Joe Petrack on it.
If
that I
that
got.
disaster has to be declared.
Yes, that one that you're talking about, Snuffy, was
Yeah.
for the September problem, and we didn't have any problem in September.
Okay, that's
This
fine.
This was back in June, which there was a small business, and they were all notified
Right.
that they could have got a loan. But the one that's out now is for the September problem.
Okay.
And none of them were declared a disaster, so that's why you got the small business loan.
That's fine. All right, thanks, Skip.
Mike, just a quick question. I see the construction is progressing on Josephine Street.
Right.
Can you give like a quick update what's happening there?
Yeah, actually, what's going on right now is the project was on hold due to waiting for Schulteis to remove a light pole in the parking lot. That actually got removed today. So within the next couple days, you'll see more activity going on down there in the parking lot. The first step, what's going to happen is inside the parking lot, Lloyd Excavating is going to finish replacing, I think, approximately about 80 feet of pipe. Once he replaces that pipe, that whole system will be repaired per Gibson Thomas inspection from what he did underneath the parking lot. After the contractor gets done with that section, then he's going to be working on the LMA side with the sewage line coming through the parking lot and then connecting back up on Josephine Street. So with everything that's going to take place, there's going to be very limited traffic delays. Detours, there's not going to be any detours implemented. When they resume work on the sewage line on Lincoln, they will do it during the midnight hours, so that way it's not going to affect traffic, that much. Traffic's going to be a lot lighter. So I anticipate within the next couple of weeks, the project should be wrapped up, everything done here. There is some additional work on the city's behalf that didn't get done. The installation of the trash rack outside the pipes, we're still waiting on that to be fabricated, made. Once that goes in, it doesn't take long to install one of those, and a little bit of cleanup work. So mainly, right now, probably about 70% of the project is complete, and it's going to be kind of isolated into the parking lots, at this point.
Good job.
It was a big job, so. Okay. Now Chief Sleesman.
Are you ready now, Madam Mayor?
Yes, sir, I am.
Last week, a anonymous donor came into City Hall, handed me $3,000.
Nice.
He requested to remain anonymous. We purchased 2 portable radios, which we desperately needed. That was $2,000. The last $1,000 we're going to put towards an epoxylizer, which I'm trying to find other funding for. It's $9,000.
What is that? What is
An
that?
epoxylizer
Yes.
for a DUI arrest, instead of wasting time taking someone to the hospital to draw blood. It's a portable breath analyzer.
Okay.
So, 2,000 of that went toward radios. The other 1,000 is going to be held for the epoxylizer. We are going to host a Damsel in Defense event here on December the 11th at 6 o'clock. It's for females only. I'm going to have information flyers laying up here if anybody wants them. It's basic self-protection and safety tips for females.
What a great idea.
This company comes in, they give a little bit of information, but we have other experts coming in, tactical defense experts and other folks, and myself. We're going to give a presentation on protecting yourself and safety tips when you're out and about. Again, that's Tuesday, December the 11th at 6 p.m. We do ask everyone to register beforehand. Because if we get too many people, we're going to have to probably move the event somewhere bigger.
Are you planning to do it here?
Yes. And this company will have items for sale that night. Self-defense items like pepper spray and other things. Like rape whistles, stun guns, other safety and security tools. The new LES, I'm working with the school district to come up with an emergency plan for LES before they open their doors. This Friday morning, I have all the officers and surrounding officers, Ligonier Borough, Ligonier Township, Derry, Park Police, all coming in. We're gonna take a tour of LES, get to know the layout. In the event that there is an emergency there, we're gonna be requesting, all outside agencies come in. So I want them to be familiar with the layout as well. We're also trying to get on paper an emergency plan for the school, should there be an event there. We've been meeting a couple times, but Friday morning is going to be our big to-do there. That's pretty much all I have.
Okay, thank you. Anyone have any questions for the chief?
Chief, when you say you're going to get a layout of the area, is there a possibility of getting at least some modified or short version of the construction plan so you would know, as well as other responders, where various things are in the building?
They have provided me a condensed version of both floors, the floor plan of it, which we're going to disperse.
Good.
Yep.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anything else for the chief? Chief Brazili?
Just what Councilman Baldner said, Turkey Trot Thursday will be on the streets. Usually that's a pretty big event. Last year I think we had 1,500 participants, so it's a pretty big event for our people and the police force too, because we're out kind of getting yelled and screamed at before we leave. So it's always fun. If anybody's in a hurry to go somewhere, but nobody knows where they're going.
Holidays here.
And same with the elementary school. I've been through there, took several tours. I was there last week for the fire portion of it, making sure all the alarm systems work. I'll be there again tomorrow to make sure the Ansel system works in the kitchen. Everything's probably on a go. I did speak with Kirk Thomas here. He's their district facilities engineer, I suppose, that's his title, but he kind of scared me. We have 3 Knox boxes on the facility, and he told me they were all keyed to Unity Township. And I said, that can't be. And he said, well, they are. I said, well, if you get the forms from me, our key master has Latrobe Fire on it. I said, how did they end up Unity? And I said, did you try? And he said, yeah. He said, my key doesn't work. I said, well, I have my key with me because I carry it. Well, he has his keys labeled wrong. Latrobe's work. He had Unity's listed as ours. So.
Oh, good.
But there is a snafu there, and John, this will be information for you too. The administration building is key to Unity Township. I only have one key to that, something like that.
No, it's not.
No, and I told him, I said, you have other boxes that are on the present elementary school. Why don't you move one of those and put them, because all the Knox boxes in town are keyed the same, and they're all to Latrobe Fire.
Right.
The forms are, provided by myself, I have to sign off on. The only people that have keys to the Knox boxes, police, fire, and EMS. That's the only people. Those keys are their keys. Instead of me carrying a bag of keys like I do, it'd be more beneficial if more people would go to the Knox box system. That way, we only have to carry one key. Their keys are in the boxes. Probably after the first year, I'd like to revisit that as maybe open that up as an ordinance for all businesses to do. It's beneficial for all of us. Police, fire, EMS. It just makes things so much easier.
Right.
So, but I did talk to Kurt, and they do have boxes with the floor plan of the old school. I asked him if there was any, way they were going to move those to the new location. He said he didn't think so. Now, I do have an emergency, plan for the school district. It has all schools. It's down in my office, but that's all going to change with the new school.
Right.
So hopefully they update the manual, but I do have the whole emergency operation plan for Greater Latrobe School District. So, but we're moving along, and like I said, we've been through there several times. I'll be there again tomorrow, and then right before they open, we'll probably do a final with some of our outside agencies to come in and help us also.
Great, thank you. Anything else? Any questions for Chief Brazili?
I thank everyone for their time.
Thanks,
I have
David.
a fire company meeting to go to.
Thank you. Ann? Okay, okay, we got a long agenda here, Zach, so phew,
I'll make it quick.
make it quick.
First item on the agenda is A1. This is a motion item. Motion to accept the resignation of Jack Murtha as member of the City of Latrobe Council and authorize the advertisement of the open council position.
May I have a motion?
I'll make that motion, Madam Mayor.
May I have a second, please?
I'll second it, Madam Mayor.
Thank you both. Any questions or discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously with our regrets. I want to just take this opportunity to thank Mr. Murtha for his service to the city of Latrobe. He's been a longtime member of council as well as different fire companies and everything throughout this Latrobe area. And so he'll be missed, but we wish him well in Derry Township. I'm sure he'll pop up somewhere out there doing some good civic work.
Madam Mayor, in that context, do we need a motion, or is it standard procedure just to offer a letter, perhaps a proclamation for Mr. Murphy for his services to membership?
Yeah, we can certainly do a letter. I don't know about a proclamation just because I don't know if he'll come back in.
You wouldn't need a motion item to do a letter to him, I don't think.
Okay. Yeah, okay. Okay. Go ahead, Zach.
Next item on the agenda is Administration and Finance number 2. This is a motion item. The motion is as follows. Motion to authorize the city to advertise notice that the 2019 budget is available for public inspection and review for a period of at least 10 days.
May I have a motion, please?
So moved.
May I have a second?
I'll second.
Thank you both. Any questions or discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously.
Next item on the agenda is entitled on the agenda, Approve the Westmoreland Conservation Partnership Agreement between the Westmoreland Conservation District and the City of Latrobe. I understand that the agreement that has been circulated to council didn't have the back page of 2 of the pages, so it was missing 2 pages. Mr. Kelly brought up the opportunity maybe to table this item until the next voting meeting of council. You'll see later in the agenda that I'm requesting that we have a special meeting during our agenda session this month, so it could be addressed then.
Is this time sensitive in any way?
I didn't see a date on it.
No.
No?
It's just, we currently have an agreement. They just like to have a new one issued every 5 years.
Okay.
It's been,
So there's no problem with us tabling it, so what do I need, a motion?
Yeah, Mr. Kelly.
I'll move that we table it.
Okay, Mr. Kelly's moved to table the motion. Okay, second by Mr. Baldneri. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, motion carries unanimously. This item will be tabled to a special meeting during the agenda run.
Yeah, we could say the next voting meeting.
Next voting meeting.
Next one.
Wait a minute.
We'll be voting during this special meeting, so, the next time that we have a voting meeting, we can address that.
Why are we voting during the next meeting?
I circulated an email last week.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Okay. Got it.
All right, next item on the agenda is Administration and Finance number 4. This again is a motion item. This would be a motion to authorize the purchase of a Christmas train display as presented by the city manager and for the same to be placed on the side of the municipal building for the holiday season.
May I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
May I have a second, please?
I'll second.
Any questions or discussion? I'm torn about this. I don't know what it looks like. I don't know if there's been any discussion. We had said we would talk to revitalization to make sure that, it fits in with our theme and our design. Do you have a picture?
Yeah, it was circulated in the agenda session packet from October 23rd.
Oh, I do remember that, but I remember seeing it now.
We have the picture, we just, he said we can.
I'd asked Wayne to see if if we've talked about it as far as part of our design. What do you guys think?
Can't hurt, it's Christmas.
You got nothing else really, or we're not gonna be able to have enough on the whole night?
And it's $800. That seems like a lot to me, but I mean, you guys are okay with it? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. I would have liked more information, but, okay. I know, but I never got an answer from Wayne as to whether we talked with the design committee and at least got some input as to, how it fits into the design, but it's a train, it's Christmas, so I think it'll be fine. I'm not sure. Okay, never mind. I don't know, yeah. Next one, Zach.
The next item on the agenda is entitled Authorize Framework for Streetlight Decorations. And this is a resolution. The resolution is entitled Authorizing and Setting Forth a Framework for the Design of Decorative Attachments to be Hung from City of Latrobe Decorative Streetlight Poles. I originally circulated a draft of this resolution approximately 2 weeks ago. That draft of the resolution in section 2 began, the City Council shall consider the recommendations for the design of the display items from all sources, and it goes through the various sources. On Thursday of last week, I received a communication from the mayor indicating that she would prefer section 2 read, City Council shall seek the recommendations for the design of the display item for all sources. So the change there is in the first word, section 2, seek. So in the interest of making sure that everyone had both copies, in your packet there is 2 drafts of the resolution, both entitled the same thing, they just have the difference in section 2. One says City Council shall consider the recommendations, the other says City Council shall seek the recommendations. So whoever's making the motion should be specific in that regard.
So we have to have a motion before we can have discussion, correct?
Correct.
Yes.
Okay. Go ahead,
Somebody make a motion for either one.
I'll make it. Well, I'll make it for the one that says just
Consider. Okay.
But, well, actually, I'll make a different motion. I'll make a motion that the sentence reads, seek and consider.
I like that.
Yeah.
Do I have a second?
And consider.
Go with that, I'll go with that.
Okay, so we have a motion and a second, and here's my thought process on this. I was just concerned that the city could just decide on their own that they're gonna buy, I don't know, something that they wanna put on the poles, and the entities involved wouldn't even know they were doing that, if it just says consider. But if we wanna go with seek and consider, I'm good with that. So we have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? Okay, all in favor?
Well,
Wait,
we have to do a roll call, don't we?
this is a resolution.
This is a
Yeah.
resolution.
I'm sorry. Roll call.
Are you okay?
Yeah.
Mr. Baldnery?
Yes.
Mr. Kelly?
Yes.
Mr. Bartels?
Yes.
Mr. Forrest?
Yes.
Mayor Wolford?
Yes. Okay.
The next item on the agenda is a resolution item. This resolution is entitled Approving Hoffman's Boarding Kennels Contract. This is an annual contract that we approve every year. This specific contract runs from January 1, 2019 through December 31, 2019, and it has the monthly payment amount being $280.
I think it went up $5 if I remember correctly.
Yeah, generally, every year that I've been here, it's gone up $5.
Do I have a motion to approve the resolution as outlined by the solicitor?
I'll make that motion.
Thank you, Mr. Bartels. May I have a second, please?
I'll second that, Madam Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. Forrest. Any questions? Ms. Piton?
Mr. Kelly?
Yes.
Mr. Forrest?
Yes.
Mr. Baldnery?
Yes.
Mr. Bartels?
Yes.
Mayor Wolford?
Yes.
The next item on the agenda is a motion. The motion is as follows. Motion to authorize the solicitor to prepare an agreement regarding the sanitary and stormwater sewage lateral line remediation for the Latrobe Elementary School, and to advertise the scheduling of a special meeting for Monday, November 26, 2018, regarding approval of the same.
May I have a motion, please?
I'll make that motion.
Thank you, Mr. Forrest. May I have a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Mr. Baldnery. Questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Nice job getting through all those, Zach.
We're not done yet.
I know, but
Next, we move to Public Works. This is a resolution item. The resolution is entitled Approving the Contribution Agreement with the Pennsylvania Department of Transportation. Specifically, this contribution agreement that would be approved by the resolution concerns the right-of-way improvements along Route 981.
you said this is a motion.
This is a resolution.
Resolution, okay. Okay, so may I have a motion to approve the resolution as outlined by the solicitor?
So moved.
May I have a second, please?
Second, Madam Mayor.
Questions?
As I understand it, basically our match is $30,000. And I'm going to assume we have it, we would be entering into this agreement. This is for the sidewalks and for the curb cuts and so forth. The gentleman who was here speaking about the problems we're having, am I correct?
I believe some of those are in that project area on 981, but this is bigger than just the ones that he was addressing.
Oh, okay.
This extends out.
But it does take care of that issue.
Around.
But it takes care of that issue, is what I'm asking.
I'm not sure, because, I don't know. This is the crosswalks, the programs, and the lights.
Yeah.
On which?
Where?
All 10, right?
All 10?
Yeah.
Okay, yes.
Yeah, all 10 right in the,
Downtown.
yeah, downtown.
Yeah.
And
So
the
it
other
does
thing,
address
when I
this.
looked at one of the exhibits, it mentioned the where, and it only cited Ligonier Street in that exhibit, but my belief would be it would be more than just Ligonier Street. It would be
Yes,
Jefferson
our
Street.
initial grant was for just Ligonier Street, because we didn't know they were gonna come in and do that. So what we did was we gave them our grant money.
This is the multimodal grant?
Yes,
Okay.
That's right, I remember now.
Yeah, it's all,
We started one thing and then they came in and we added it all together and we were able to expand the project.
right.
I'll ask him one more question. We do have that grant?
yes.
Okay.
I think that was from Representative Petracca's office, yes.
Yeah, it was.
So that grant plus the 30,000 then becomes our contribution toward the overall project,
Right.
which is going to cost several million as I read the documents. Okay, thank you.
So we have a motion and a second. Ms. Beaton?
Mr. Forrest?
Okay.
Mr. Bartels?
Yes.
Mr. Kelly?
Yes.
Mr. Baldnery?
Yes.
Mayor Wolford?
Yes.
The next item on the agenda is another resolution. This resolution is approving the sidewalk maintenance agreement with the Pennsylvania Department of Transportation. Essentially what this agreement breaks down to is that once these improvements are constructed, that we just addressed, that it would be our responsibility to maintain those improvements moving forward. So again, this is a resolution item approving a sidewalk maintenance agreement.
May I have a motion to approve the resolution as outlined by the solicitor?
I'll make that motion, Madam Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. Forrest. May I have a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Mr. Bartels. Questions?
This is just standard, I mean, we already did this with all of our other.
Right.
Yeah, this is,
Right.
they always require this after they do the improvements. But keep in mind that this is just the sidewalk improvements. Whatever improvements they're doing to the physical right-of-way, it's still their road that they would maintain.
Ms. Beaton?
And
Oh,
if you
sorry.
remember, they came in and talked about doing some of the crosswalks a little different. I mean, that was an add-on on them.
Did we ever come up with a design for the crosswalks that you recall, Ann, that we all agreed to, or that we even,
I think so. I think whatever the design committee came up at that time.
yeah, we'll have to revisit that when we
They
get
looked like the
closer.
other ones at schools, I believe.
Okay.
Instead of being cement, they're polymorph, No, they won't chip
Chip
and break
it.
or anything. We're a little limited on what we can demand they do
Mhm.
because they are contributing to it out of their own pocket. No cost at us.
And exactly when is this project gonna start? Because I remember hearing different
Supposed
dates.
to be
2020 now?
Yeah.
2020 now?
I think it's supposed to go up a bit in the fall or something.
In the fall of 2019. It goes out to bid in the fall of 2019, which means it'll be done in the spring of 2020. Hopefully, because I think it's got pushed back once already, but, okay, great. Okay, sorry, Ms. Pitar?
Mr. Balderi?
Yes.
Mr. Kelly?
Yes.
Mr. Bartel?
Yes.
Mr. Forrest?
Yes.
Mayor Wolford?
Yes.
Item 3 in Public Works, this is a motion item. The motion is as follows. Motion to authorize the City of Latrobe to advertise a notice requesting bids for the 2019 sanitation contract.
May I have a motion, please?
I'll make that motion.
Thank you, Mr. Bartels. May I have a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Mr. Kelly. Questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Any
Aye.
opposed? Motion carries unanimously.
Moving to Police Department, this as well is a motion item. The motion is as follows. Motion to authorize the City of Latrobe to advertise a notice seeking applicants for civil service testing to fill the open police officer position.
May I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Second?
Second, Madam Mayor.
Thank you both. Questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Was that retroactive? I'm thinking, wait a minute.
Okay.
Thank you.
And don't forget, after December 10, the annual council party.
Yes, don't forget everyone. The annual council holiday gathering. Okay, unfinished business. Anyone have any unfinished business? I have one question. Zach may know this, Ann and I talked about it today briefly. The ordinance that we were talking about regarding fining landlords if the police are called to their rental property 3 times in a month or whatever.
Nuisance property.
Nuisance property, yeah. Did you get a chance to look
But
today?
I know that we did not pass or do anything.
Yeah, where did we leave that? Do you remember?
Last we addressed it, Councilmember Kelly was councilmember-elect. And I remember we had held off on enacting anything because I think it was December when we were talking about it until Mr. Kelly had an opportunity to get on the board and we could
Well, a
get
year's
involved.
gone by, and we need to revisit that. I think we need to pull that back out and revisit it.
Sure.
We also waiting, Zach, there was another city somewhere around trying to pass an ordinance. We've seen how they was gonna outline it. or
That's what we did with landlord tenant. We've still been holding on that because it's still undetermined whether or not a home rule municipality can do that.
That was different than this one. I remember you had found some other ordinances from other municipalities that did what we were looking at for a nuisance ordinance. And I think we were really close to passing it.
Well, we were.
Or we had really close to final
considering it.
form. What?
We were close to considering.
Considering passing it. All right, so can we resurrect that again? Because I think we need to,
Is there, or are there any other communities that we are aware of that have enacted such an ordinance?
Yes, I had based mine off of what other municipalities have done. And I
I
can,
mean, ones our size?
yeah, I think the most analogous was the Borough of California down in Washington Township, or County. That's like-
can you bring that, can we bring that up next year, January?
Absolutely.
I want to talk about that again because I think we need to give, I think we need some teeth to some of that. We talked about it at great length, so.
I would ask if Zach could give us a copy of that ordinance, the one you drafted, maybe by the December meeting.
Yeah, I can recirculate.
So we have-
And I believe I did send an email to council also
You did.
with some ones that I had used as a reference.
You did.
So I can I'll try to find that and resend everything in its entirety.
Mhm.
Can you add me in that?
Absolutely.
And we appreciate any input you might have.
I have a lot of questions about that, Madam Mayor. I'm on board with it, I agree with you.
And we're open to suggestions if you have other ones, because we gotta, you know.
I'm on board with you, totally on board with you, but I see a lot of unanswered questions about the whole project.
Mhm.
Just a question,
That's where we ended up with, because there was a lot of, regardless who they are or not, they're still people, or American citizens, they still have rights.
Right, there's a lot of what ifs involved.
And I'm with you on that, John.
From your experience, are there that many properties in town where the police would have been called more than 3 times a month? I mean, are we talking about 10 properties, 50 properties, 2 properties? Just from your...
Probably 5-ish.
Okay.
Nuisance properties, which, you know, it would be great to have some, as the mayor put it, some teeth to go after the landlord. But we still have to remember, you know, these folks still have the right to call 911. But, you know, there's a lot of what ifs. Are we going to go after the landlord if it's, you know, if we're called and there's not an arrest, or if there's an arrest, just to the building, if we get called, you know, just to the building 3 times, or a specific apartment, or just a lot of what ifs.
Yeah, and the draft that I've prepared, being mindful of, you know, people's constitutional rights and their right to call the police in the event that they're the ones that are the victim. That's, you know, one of my strongest concerns regarding this, so I was very careful in preparing that. I did look at it with Chief Bumar before he left, so certainly we'll provide it to you and work with you to make it appropriate.
And I just think we've got to come up with something. I don't know what the answer is. I would imagine that we're not the only municipality that has this problem, as Zach found with some of these other ordinances. And to Mr. Kelly's point, you know, they may have written the ordinance, but have they ever used them, or have they ever, you know, had to call on them, or have they ever had any case law regarding the ordinances?
It just seems to me that we could go in 2 directions, or we could go into both directions, I guess. The nuisance ordinance or the inspection ordinance. But it would seem to me we can put our focus more on the inspection ordinance. That will probably, in the long run, get rid of the nuisance problems down the road. In other words, we have a right to go in and look at properties and find code violations. They may be so severe that the tenants will have to leave. I think that ordinance would do more good that in the long run, but I also know, talking with Zach, that we're still waiting for a court decision.
And there is tremendous pushback from people on that one, as you can see by the case court, the court case, and I think it's the city of Pittsburgh. So yeah, but let's keep talking about it. There's got to be some kind of a solution, and maybe we'll get there.
I can make some calls this week to other departments.
That would be great. Yeah. Okay. Great. Thanks. Any other unfinished business?
Madam Mayor, I have
Yeah.
a question. When we accepted Jack's resignation and authorized the advertisement, do we have any timelines to announce to the public at this point on that advertisement?
We have to fill the spot within 45 days, so that means what? Mid-January? No, end of December, which means we really need to have somebody available at the December meeting, right?
Well, I remember at the last time we spoke about this, there was discussion about Wayne getting a notice in the paper essentially tomorrow.
Right.
So that would give us the time that we needed to, you know, we have a time period for how long we have to advertise it, and that would get you guys the letters of interest by the next agenda session. I don't know if that happened.
Well, no, because it's not going to go tomorrow.
Since why?
Newsprint deadline.
He didn't, it's not done, it wasn't done.
Unless he did it, you know.
Well, we need to get it in there tomorrow.
Do it
I mean,
being Thursday.
Do you have anybody here who could write a story?
I'm sure we do. I'm sure they already did. But anyways, our hope would be to have some candidates come to the agenda prep meeting on the 26th of November, people that are interested, and you know, talk to us.
And I'll put it on the website tomorrow.
Yeah, And,
Yeah, I can talk to you about how quickly we can really get it noticed.
And could we set a date for the agenda prep meeting in December?
the 26th? Yeah, the 26th, because the 24th is Christmas Eve, and then the 31st is New Year's Eve, so I think we're going to do it the Wednesday after Christmas, so December 26th.
If you can get the advertisement in the paper on the 15th,
Which is Thursday.
we would be good for the 26th, if you could get it in on the 15th.
I mean, the truth of the matter, Zach, is even if people, okay, never mind. So that'll be the 10 days?
Yeah, we have to give 10 days notice, and we have to make a decision within 45. So if we have them in by the agenda session, ask in that advertisement that, to the extent that they're available, that they appear, then we can vote on it in December.
Okay, great. Any other unfinished business? Any new business? New business, anybody? New business, okay. Any citizens request items not on the agenda? Already did that. Okay, city manager report, no city manager. Mayor's report. Huh?
She said no manager, so I said no mayor.
No city manager's report. Okay, mayor's report. First of all, I wanted to thank the police department and the fire department for, again, another very successful Halloween. You guys did a great job on a miserable day with all the rain, but I'll tell you what, there were still tons and tons of kids out, so thank you for that. That was great. Also, I want to offer a big round of gratitude for the police department in finding out, solving a theft issue that we had, so that was good. And what else? Today they had, Latrobe Center for Active Adults had a breakfast for veterans, and Holly and Ann and Mike and the chief were there. It was a really nice event, so I want to thank you guys for coming there and for honoring the vets. And I think that's about it. Does anybody have anything else I'm forgetting? Okay, that's it then. I'll have a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Meeting adjourned.
Christmas tree.